Alright, YouTube, we are ready to start the trial. We just finished the investigation. And... this is going to take a while. 4-part investigation into what's probably at least a 3-part trial. We're not going to complete the entire trial tonight for a stream. When I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Inside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. 17th April, 9:32 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it.
So where's your friend then?
Sorry?
You know, in the fancy dress. Susato, however you say it. I don't know.
Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up.
You're alright with that, are you? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off.
She left 5 hours ago! 5.5 hours ago! It's fine! It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again, one day.
Even so.
But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two.
Good morning, you two. How are you feeling, Gina? Did you manage to sleep?
I thought it might have been Sean's.
Iris, what are you doing at it? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Rocky? Wacky!
You're going to show your support, kitty.
I'm moving those around. What all I'm gonna do? Well, that reminds me. I bought a paper on the way here. Now, what do you think? The good news or the bad news? What do you say, Genie?
Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first.
No, I always set the good news first. You might not the bad. Yes, the question always gives away people's personalities.
Let's not go there.
Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. The record about our rain is found this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move.
Huh? The bad news is a weather report?
So I hope that Susan made her train to Dover and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port.
Gosh, yes.
Alright then, so what's the good news? The rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, you should be able to make it up the time later. Well, that is good news, Harry. I couldn't give a monkey's, really.
Well, good news cancels out the bad.
And look, this trial made the headlines too. More careers and gross plunder. See? How do you like that? Well, let me say what I want. See if I can.
I can't because you're covering your face.
Don't worry, you know what's telling everyone that this headline is nonsense.
I will? Yes, we will. Rinosuke.
And then tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be discharged divers dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Runo?
Unlikely, but yes, let's hope so.
What can I say? Well, I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it?
Looks like she was still here. Today's paper has been entered into the court record. Why is this in our record now?
I'll do what I can.
Let me examine this first.
Remember creation and big bucket player album for Genie, I mean.
Tomorrow's headline will be Discharge Time for his Dauntless Do-Gooder, right?
Yes, something like that. If possible, I'd like to go even bigger.
Bigger? How?
Have a big look at the text planet post-trial, perhaps?
Or a text planet?
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be so great.
Oh, that's the same thing. Can I? Oh, hello.
So, story you lowered in the front page as well. Oh, look. Ministerial? Classified secrets may have just been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
For 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of the world news.
It's about communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted. But how would somebody be doing that?
That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new priority?
No, of course not. I wonder. This is what Lord Stronger was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be, and I'm pretty sure why Gracie is... Let's see, why he has Gracie running from pillar to post at the moment.
This morning's paper contains an article about government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. Well, you know, it would have been a lot nicer if I had turned this the other way.
Nice, eh? Oh, below like City does, but still. I'll be buying you take the whole deck for you, boys. What encouragement.
I'm not sure what anything this is coming. Ridiculous thing to do this, to be honest, but thank you, Iris. Very kind of you.
Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Genie? Well, I was wondering this all about shows. Did it fix on the boy? Yes, the operation was a great success. But Harry still hasn't come around yet.
That's not true at all. He was talking to what's her name? What's her name? Susato. I'm stupid.
Eh? Yes, the friend of mine at Scotland Yard will start talking as soon as he wakes up.
Sure, Grayson will let us know the moment there's news.
Oh, alright. Oh, right.
This is Otto's son and Mr. Shoulders. It's all down to me today. It's true that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina last tried. Counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom.
It's time then.
Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris.
Either way, right now.
Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. 17th April, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial should determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Why are you here again, Van Zeeks? Why do you keep coming out of retirement specifically to fight with me? Lord Van Zeeks, my lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the prosecution service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. There's some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior. In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you did exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? And yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, Counselor. There are 2 types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large.
Yes, Mr. McGilder, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago.
Yes, I just about managed to work that out, thank you. Magnus McGilder, if I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confident tricksters from those tiny islands of the far east, the Nipponese. So you're a racist. That's why you're here.
What? Did he really just say that? He means you know, you know?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that... Doesn't that disqualify him from being able to prosecute? I actually managed to work that out, too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? God, look at the torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. Which contains government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. Is that directed solely at me, or is he talking about all Japanese people? An alarmingly scathing explanation, Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people of this trial. Oh, this guy again. That's the fucking guy from the ship. The you know, the wanted guy. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you can determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Former lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I just can't have left it in there. It's not possible. Or could I have? Proving indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Is something wrong or no? The fact, you know, there's a kind of just a war criminal on the jury. Oh, not exactly. It's just fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact.
Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors chosen at random from more than 6 million inhabitants, you know.
So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks, after I fix my audio because my gavel broke it. Fear the power of the justice system. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Winterbank, let me try this again. The victim, Mr. Pop Winterbank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there's a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Moving on from the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. The bullet from the scene. Gino's not that much shorter than him, right? Someone like the accused, you might say.
Oh!
The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them over to the bailiff, please. Autopsy report. Crime scene photograph. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this. Hold on. Let me look at this first. Pop Winterbank, pawnbroker, time of death 1 to 1:30 a.m. 16th of April. Reporting party, Ryonosuke Naruhodo. Single bullet wound in the upper half of victim's back. No other visible signs of trauma. Instant death from postero-anterior bullet wound to the heart. Bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising trajectory. Now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. Into this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Winterbank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that groggy little girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drats that lives on the sons on the sun. Oh, well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the jurors waiting for? That girl's guilty as hell! We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. My learned Nipponese. friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious! After the testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pig purse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. You might as well fling that glass into the candles, dude. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them over to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord. Correction. Floor plan shows relative positions of the main shop and rear storeroom. Belonging to the victim that Gina was holding, which was unconscious. There are signs of a single discharge. This is good.
I feel like the mood here is turning gloomy all of a sudden.
I think that's because it has. Well, we haven't actually examined these yet. Keep hitting control to go back. Signs of a single... This is Mr. Winterbank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty.
Mr. Winterbank wants to take this gun on him. To him. On his shotgun here.
Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, if I understand.
That's right. All the pawned articles were safe in his care.
But his one bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Is he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the article safe? I think that's just the cylinder again, right? Yeah. Is there really nothing else I can examine about this gun? Just for the muzzle? Nope. Oh, that's... you know, that's a good touch. They added rifle into the barrel. It's not... They didn't do too much. Where, by which I mean they made it, you know, they make it a very clear cut right here where the rifling stops. But they did add rifling to it. Oh, we're just getting right into the cape, to you throwing your cape off, huh? Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Winterbank on 16th April of this year. Witnesses state their names and occupations for the court. Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is baddie, professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupations are same as him. Tobias Grayson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right. Well, what they call? That's right. Well, what they call? The three Skulkin brothers. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. God blame me, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's our older brother. Lost contact with him we have. It was almost going every city corner of the capital. And last night we come across you. A very bit of the old bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is, is he? It is. The very spit on him. So we decided. And on that,
We was gonna do? We was gonna call ya.
Parent now, big rough sulky.
Big rough skull.
Come on, let me out of it, you two. Sulky skulking? And that's before he ran out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson.
Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias.
What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you were doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves they are, these three?
No, my lord. Begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot.
2 nights ago, these brothers illegally entered an establishment with the intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my lord, while attempting to burglarize the pawnbroker, they witnessed the proprietor's murder.
Order!
The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future.
With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to get these two gents on the straight and narrow.
Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. Skulky, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and exactly what you saw.
Happy to. Cause the Skulkin's never skulkin'.
Get out of it. Legal entry.
We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gas door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign, big at first, to go in, what it was. But once we got inside, God blimey, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. And we just left after that, nice and quiet.
Terrible coincidence, it seemed. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, even more sinister crime was afoot.
These are the guys that shot
Sholmes, right? The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime seen in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. Within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses. Now, of course, counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yes.
What's the matter, you know?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute there by the blatant lies being told by that pair on the stand. I know that's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. Such I suppose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Well, we need to press stuff.
Hold it!
The front door of Winterman's was ajar, you say? What time of night was this?
Must have been about 1, right, Ringo? Right, Ringo. Yeah, I'd say so, right, Sulky?
How would I know?
the place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, that's true. Ain't it right? Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Skunky? You me old mucker? Leave me alone.
There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused Christina Lestrade had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim. That is purely conjecture. Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside.
Right, that's what happened.
What the? Where's my? Oh, this is E. I hate that. I hate that they do that. Let's just press everything. Q.
Hold it!
Press. What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in?
Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say. Don't they, Ringo? Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon.
Possible often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it?
It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash, it weren't. Like we said all the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that a long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they? Well, you can't deny it. You let us to a bloke what looks just like a bruv. I said cut it out.
The chips are getting a chopping today. Heard a gunshot from the back.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you see. Just the one. You sure about that?
Yep, just the one, Governor. I can swear to that. It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, Buff? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself.
Yes, Mr. Winnie always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. I had to remember her voice for a second.
Right, I remember.
When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds.
That makes sense. Mr. Winterbank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded.
It's true, I remember him saying that as well. We can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon.
Yes, my lord, we can.
And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. The door was locked from the inside.
Hold it!
Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? My learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation. Perhaps a drawing would help. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there's only one other door to that of the storeroom.
Of course, I was only a little. Oh, oil lamp burning, not much to see by. And the door was behind a curtain and all.
That's right. When you arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Let's see. At least two of my... Okay, they are in my lists. In my profiles list. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door?
Eh?
A normal petty thief would have run at the sound of gunshot, I should think.
Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Roughly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways. On hearing a gunshot or scream, the timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen of the latter inclination, while I learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Oh, thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Hold it!
Yeah, we'll press here. We don't have evidence to... You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? So we don't have evidence to prove that they were... This is probably going to be one of those things where we had to press and then find a thing. Or find an interrupt, basically.
Well, it was Bedlam and some others, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me took, sir. Help me Lucy lockets.
So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left. Nice and quietly, you say?
That's right, Doctor. Nothing we ain't more than violence. Beast like dimplers we are, not bludgeoners. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me toques out. Me and Lucy lockets.
So you'd clearly like us to believe...
Eh? Come again?
that you fled from the pawnbroker's office that night. Did you not run into anyone else? Oh yeah. I'm the one that reported the death. And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive! They fired a gun, you say?
Blimey, Governor. You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway.
It was.
Why the bleeding Nora?
Hey, don't insult Aloy's. Well, I guess that would be fine. I guess Aloy wouldn't have a problem with you insulting Kurt Tribe, actually.
Didn't you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun. As you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to the hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle. As you say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. The Skulking Brothers' gun has been entered into the court record. Now, my Nipponese friend. I mean, I think you can see where I'm going with this, right? So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's cylinders.
Yes, which tells us only a single shot has been fired from it.
Exactly.
The bullet that hurt me, in fact, isn't it?
Yes, it happened almost as soon as we walked in through the Winterbank's door.
I'll make those brothers pay.
Oh, there's no rifling in this one. Also, what a weird revolver. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. Oh yes, there are telltale signs of spent powder on this gun and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. Prosecution demands evidence that was fired at the scene of the crime. Under the scrutiny in this trial. Well, I don't need evidence because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. The defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim. We shall have no choice but to toast to your incompetence as we move on. Evidence that the two fired the gun before they left the Winterbanks that night. The blood report, right? Yeah, we have a picture right here. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night?
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth do you have there, Counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. I'm not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to. How arrogantly Nipponese are they? Well, at least I'm not a racist. We analyzed the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. We claim to have evidence the court is demanding therein. Yes, my lord. No more doubting, then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene?
Take that!
What is that? Explain. It's a picture of a bullet, you moron! It's a photographic print taken at Winterbanks and pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? If my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged in there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Winterbank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Wah! All we're doing is proving the prosecution's case at this point, Renosuke. What are you doing? Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zeeks? If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Eh? Take it easy, that come back. You're gonna land us in the soup. We had a deal. We ain't gonna get in. We weren't gonna get into them details. Get him, Salty. Set the bloke straight.
Give me a moment. I have to remove some stuff. Okay. Switch my cans. There are the cans on my desk. Cans of soda, I should say.
I had nothing to add.
So he knew, did he? As he knew that testimony will most certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I only learned Nipponi's friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Manseeks? The presence of this bullet? As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Shulman's, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. Ugh! In other words, these two have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Winterbank at all. So that's it.
That's right. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Ash. We didn't. That's why, I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and must not forget attempted murder.
Quite a catalog, eh, fellas? Yeah. We ain't but now, bruv.
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where is he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric says who?
Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this when the victim's shot.
Oh! That's what I've heard is red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, this is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. Which means we should have 2 photos, right? Well, technically 4. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. Because it happened between 1 and 1:30, right? That's the wrong thing. Autopsy report. Yeah, from between 1 and 1:30, so there should be, because there's 2 of them, we should have 4 photographs to look at. 2 from the counter and 2 from the door. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device in question. The device on the night in question. There's a whole stack of these fucking things for some reason. 8:30 p.m. 8:30, 9, 9:30. As the court observed, copious and digital prints are producing quite a desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer to the court of the To the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help with the anticipated deconductor's activities on one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
That's a bit of a friar talk, eh, bro? Lady Luck was a skulking.
Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
It must have been just after 1, right, bro? Must have been, Mitch. Must have been. Yeah, just gone 1.
So after 1, but before 1:30. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Good lord! It's the defendant! Miss Gina Lestrade! Man, this is hard. As the court can clearly see. The accused is pictured gun in hand facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt the person, the proprietor, to open the door into his storeroom. Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfold. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Photograph of Gina. Photograph taken automatically by the red-handed. A recorder showing the scene a short time before the murder took place. Good. That's how I feel, man. That's how I feel.
I don't believe it, Jeannie.
In short, the accused is the only person who could have possibly killed Mr. Windebank. What about the other photos?
I say, my lord. What if I might put in a word at this point?
Go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Took a bully bullet to the knee in the Battle of May 1880, don't you know?
Decorated for
that. But it forced me to retire from the service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield.
Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point?
Carrying on the battle after retirement, you see, the battle of daily life, if you like it. Here I am now leading this small squadron. It's been all good and true. We'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and all for one.
I haven't even been allowed to cross-examine this yet. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we have to understand? Mr. Foreman, is that correct?
Yeah, madam. Speaking, yes. That is the Count Squadron's position, sir.
What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment here.
Status report for the court, man, on the double.
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for decision-makings, too.
I think you'll find the truth as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it.
I just want... Oh, see, I can't actually remember.
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very sorry for troubles. They are unlucky. For brothers, they are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned.
But Teeny didn't shoot him.
No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well, the court grants permission. Oh wow, we are almost out of room for evidence. So, you refuse to be defeated again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, all members of the jury ready.
Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Judicial findings. Jurors' contentions. All the evidence clearly points in the finger of guilt at the young pickpocket TN.
As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated.
Indeed, you'll find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. Look at it in stereo. If I have what to do there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now.
Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission. A verdict to follow. Stop.
In mother that we say, never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. This guy doesn't even know who's on trial here. The circumstance of the crime and evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storm, not from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone, and in the accused's hand the fatal revolver the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print.
Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young lady's on the verge of pulling the bully trigger.
But she isn't aiming the gun at the shopkeeper, though, right? It's a lot, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh dear, how is humor supposed to help, not hinder?
I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Tina didn't shoot Mr. Wendebank. Which means there's more to this situation than that we've yet to see.
Agreed.
You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. Jury examination.
Hold it!
You're just not suing his landlord, Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this.
Ah, you're that lawyer chap.
Well, there's a turn up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Schultz and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Godeb house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodges moved out, I couldn't get a body soul to make up the tendencies. Oh. I haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet, but bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot. Not for us, that's for Dashed certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously, but honestly, I wish you paid more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2.
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see. Again.
A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain.
What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores?
On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpurses, and crossmen, the scum of the earth.
A little harsh, perhaps?
Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals.
You're referring to Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rant's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital.
Mr. Holmes, a maid?
It's really quite unbelievable. Dr. Scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective.
Minor detail, it was the 2 brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Holmes, not the defendant.
A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it might be an idea to get our facts straight. Anyway.
Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement.
Does Rose swing for shooting the great detective?
Hold it!
What do you mean? Look at the photograph in stereo.
Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photograph at print normally, it's just that the pickpocket girl's about to shoot the victim, obviously.
There's no indication that the defendant even fired the gun.
All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it can reveal all sorts of new information.
Do I really have to do that IRL?
By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how did you know?
Let's call it a lucky guess.
Never gets old seeing 2 prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, captivating. It's the height of modernity.
Of course.
Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay, giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen.
If you can give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. Oh gosh, do I have to actually do this in real life? There's no way, right? Wait, we only have one picture, right? So what am I doing? What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about how he left something somewhere or something like that.
Oh, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon.
A Surgeon? That totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no. Even though me and my kind are all at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you've left behind? Oh, well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. A standard thing went into the abdomen. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. Since those are my concerns, and seeing as this case is appears to be all sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. As sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean?
Are you from the Far East? Stop.
Yes, from the Empire of Japan.
All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. But now you have the electric telegram. You can send messages using electric signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable? The ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it.
You're well informed, young lady. The cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop.
Just when I was starting to catch up.
Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over open airwaves to four corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Sphere electric. Stop.
Alright, try not to wear out your fingers.
Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscopes are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys.
Hello?
Excuse me.
Journal number 3. Sorry to interrupt you when you're obviously fuming, but... What? What? You perhaps have something to say about journal number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess.
Oh, you bet I did. Oh, you bet I did. Say that again. Go on. I dare you.
Goodness, are you talking to me?
I think you just might be, yes.
You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh?
Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine taking photographs in 3 dimensions? Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional.
What a great way to appease the man.
No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all.
You just don't know.
Pardon?
I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities.
I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate.
What sort of possibilities?
Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, you could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before.
What?
Have you got any prints we could look at with a stereoscope?
Absolutely.
How about this print here?
They should do the trick, I think. This one, right? The photograph of Gina? Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints?
Of course I can.
Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate.
I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Does this work?
Take that!
Wait, sorry? What do you mean, one more parent?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? No.
What?
You need 2 photographs for the stereoscope, remember? You know, one for the left eye and one for the right.
Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbroker is just a normal photograph.
No. I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints.
Thanks for the friendly explanation.
Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show this young man then.
I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Let's get things back on track, shall we, Council? From a slightly different location.
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not Villain Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary.
Revolutionary?
I believe there's such a rumor.
It's just a rumor?
As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious scribbling. Your words, not mine. Just wanted to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat.
And which glove fits?
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Alright, that didn't sound safe at all. You forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like vicious criminal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. Though I have much sympathies for these brothers, people say they are criminals only because of how they look. Skulkin brothers? They were trespassing in the shop and shot somebody. Maybe they were inside pawnbroker's shop, but they have done nothing wrong. That is all I want to say. The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night? Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris.
What is it, Mama?
The chairs are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London Town, aren't they?
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary?
I wish I knew.
I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, and the trial will be over.
But we know Jeannie would never shoot anyone.
Yeah, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and put them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. Oh, so I can pick you versus you, right?
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord, counsel, explain yourself.
Oh, my statement? Contradictory?
In Juror number 6, you got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on that night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver.
Yes, they shot poor Mr. Shilms in the abdomen, I understand.
Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. A-B-D. Sir? Sorry. My English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear? Forgive me, I did not hear. Ugh. Ah, here is what. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. I thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again. So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before we never done nothing, but truth is they shot detective. Duh, this is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now. It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir. Eyes must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't pass a... Yes, it is, Ruro. Easily. Sorry? With the Prince of Hurley's red-handed recorder. Ah. If you compare the picture's teeny and the net's print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. You'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Kitty, Mr. Prosecutor! Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused and the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the store. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later after the brothers' flight.
So this was taken after Hurley was shot.
Hold on.
That's what I reckon, Bill. Nothing's been taken.
Oh wait, I'm looking at the... That does seem to be the case. The pink person is obviously missing in the second print. So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You are right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trying.
Well done, Reno. The bounce is shifting.
Well, that's a start, I suppose. There must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. If I can do that, we might just turn the situation around in our favor. Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. You kindly have that new photographic print to the bail to be filed as evidence. Ah, thank goodness. Post-shooting photograph. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that.
Hold it!
Can it really show up new clues, though?
You don't know unless you try.
How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think.
Take that!
And then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. This one, the post-shooting photo.
Take that!
We have room for one more piece of evidence. Alright, these 2 prints were both taken with the same camera and the window banks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and the right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the 2 images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly.
It's that small shift between certain objects in the 2 pictures that's really important.
So what happens if you use 2 photographs that are exactly the same, then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene 3-dimensionally, anyway.
Oh! Of course, now I see.
Ah, I think the young girl has discovered the secret.
I have.
Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me?
Have another look at these 2 pictures from Hurley's camera, Bruno. Go on. You see that there is a really obvious difference between them?
Oh yeah, the lamp is shattered after the shooting. Of course there is. There are 2 people in the first and no people in the second.
Well, yes, but then, as you can see that straight away, but now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions.
Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, cross your eyes and then make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill from the pins in each picture overlap in the middle. I hope I don't have to do this IRL. Wait.
Well, did you manage to see it properly, Bruno?
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna say not really. I'm just not very good at this. That's the trouble.
Oh, don't worry, I have just the thing. Oh, I'm gonna bring it with me. A portable stereoscope.
Oh, thank goodness. I know I mentioned this yesterday, but if you had that contraption from the outset, you could have saved me from staring at Mr. Window and Gina like I hate them all the time.
Oh, if you remember, I said in reply. It's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes.
Yeah, 'cause I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't do that shit. That IRL. I cannot cross my eyes. At least not willingly.
Yeah, why don't we try that using some little aid now? Here goes.
Now let's see what we've got. Wait, look at that. Ugh, what's going on with these 2 pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you.
Yes, that's it, you see.
So this entire case is built on the gimmick of people being able to do that, I guess.
That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes.
Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why the deuce would some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Those objects have been moved. Basic principles of the stereoscope? As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using the stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shifting positions of certain objects that lets you see the pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions.
Yes, there must have been.
Now hold fire there! Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. Why the devil does this ship between the two princes this in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What, me? I haven't the first idea.
No, it's quite simple.
It is?
Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But this is what some of the items appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So
That means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with things on the counter. Zukas. Someone tampered.
New information. Stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop.
Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in the summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is now clear. We know that the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shit and items on the counter. I wish I could look at these pictures again. Okay, it happened after the shooting, so these two had to be unconscious. It was one of the Skulkins, right?
Take that!
There's a witness is currently in the stand. The Skulkin brothers. Wait, this does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull tools from Lucy lockets. My phrase book says tools meaning hands, and Lucy lockets meaning pockets. But this is another lie. Is this what you're saying? Yeah, because the victim, I mean, obviously, what's his name was dead, and Gina was found unconscious in the room with the victim, right? Yes, I'm afraid so. Hold on there a minute, you can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick person after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal.
I think that's unlikely.
And why? Why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. Well, it would seem as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windemate to open the storeroom door. Otherwise, Miss Lestrade's interest lay within the storeroom, not the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony.
But they accused us of pickpockets. Come and gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, or in fact worse, than a pick purse. I believe these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize the testimony given against her by two thieves? Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady bear. Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop.
There we go. Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. Two lean to guilty, four lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. Even though that should honestly be a 3-3. I order this trial to continue.
Hey, well done. Oh, by the way,
What?
you should have wanted this one. You never know when it might come in useful.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. Stereoscope has been entered into the court record and we cannot hold any more evidence. Jeez. Lord Man Zeeks. You will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. Yeah, we can't hold any more evidence.
About the 2 prints in here to start with, you see.
And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions.
Importantly, you seek to get right is the position of the 2 prints.
I don't know who came up with the idea of a stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. Oh, look at that! It's totally changed shape. From just one little button press.
And that's what the button's for, you know? You're just like Ruthie. You boys love pressing buttons, don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do.
Us boys? Says the 10-year-old girl.
Oh, ain't it? You can see that it really has a stereoscope, can't you?
Fingerprints into there. Is this popped again? No, it seals back up when we close. Okay. Give myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Jean is innocent. To be continued. Alright. That is going to be the end of the YouTube video as well as stream. Because it's 3:33 a.m. So I'm going to stop the YouTube recording here, and when we come back to this, we'll come back to this tomorrow, where we'll probably finish. Stream-wise, we'll probably finish. There may be 1 or 2 more videos for YouTube. Maybe even 3, depending on how long this goes for. Well, we'll try to finish it tomorrow. Alright, so I will see you all tomorrow. So good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.